Hi students, today let's discuss regarding tumors of the ear. So we are going to discuss regarding these tumors of ear under weighting headings like auricular and periauricular region and in the middle ear or in the external ear as well as in the inner ear. ആ രീതിയിലായിരിക്കും നമ്മൾ ഓരോ ട്യൂമറും ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്ത് പോകും. Okay. So first we can discuss regarding auricular and periauricular region. So the tumors will be of two forms when we were discussing regarding the tumors at the auricular region. So it is mainly classified into two, that is benign cyst and tumors, malignant tumors. These are the main two forms of tumors that can be seen in the periauricular region. Then benign cyst and tumor include preauricular cyst. It is a developmental anomaly due to improper fusion of the first and second branchial arch. So preauricular cyst is one of the benign cysts that is mainly occur as a congenital anomaly due to the improper fusion of the first and second branchial arch. Then sebaceous and dermoid cyst means it can be seen in the post-auricular region on the mastoid area. Then keloid. I think most of you have familiar with this term. Okay, you might have heard this term before. Then keloid means it is a post-traumatic following piercing the ear lobules of for ornament or post-surgical in the post-auricular region. Keloid എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു ബെയിൻ സിസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. നമ്മളെപ്പോഴും ഇപ്പം കാതില് ornaments like ഇയറിങ്സ് ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഇഞ്ചുറി വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം നമ്മൾ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് സ്കിൻ ഗ്രോത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ കീലോയിഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അത് ഇപ്പം ഓർണമെന്റ്സിൽ ട്രൈ ചെയ്യുന്ന മാത്രമല്ല എന്തെങ്കിലും സർജറീസ് ടു ദിസ് പർട്ടിക്കുലർ പോസ്റ്റ് auricular region ആണെങ്കിലും that keloid can be occurred. So this is a picture of preauricular cyst. Okay, so this is preauricular cyst. In the later stage it will be filled with abscess. Okay. Then this is sebaceous cyst. Sebaceous cyst, it can be seen in the post-auricular region. Post-auricular region, you know, back side of that lower portions of the ear, there will be skin growth can be seen, that is sebaceous cyst. Then this is keloid. Okay, it can be seen following any form of post-traumatic injury after trying to insert ornaments to its earrings or ear ornaments. വേറെ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ ആ ഹോൾ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം അവിടെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യും. അതൊരു മെത്തേഡാണ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു റീസൺ ആണ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പോസ്റ്റ് സർജിക്കലായിട്ട് പോസ്റ്റ് ആ ഏരിയയിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും സർജറി ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം അതിനെ തുടർന്ന് keloid can be occurred. Okay. Then treatment, how we can manage this benign tumor of the preauricular region. If there are symptomatic excisions can be completely benign tumors are metastasis ഉണ്ടാവത്തില്ല. So we can completely remove this tumor through the excision. Then excisions of keloid is followed by injecting triamcinolone locally or radiation with 300 rats for prevention of recurrence. Keloids in a particular once it is removed, there will be high chances for recurring again. So to prevent that complications of recurrence, we can inject the triamcinolone locally after perform this excision of keloid. Okay. Then next is malignant tumors of auricular region. It is made of three forms: squamous cell carcinoma, basal cell carcinoma or rodent ulcer, then melanoma. These are the three main forms of malignant tumors of auricular region. Then squamous cell carcinoma usually occurs on the helix, and prolonged exposure to sunlight in fair people may be the cause for developing these forms of carcinoma. Then basal cell carcinoma, it is otherwise known as rodent ulcer. It also presents in fair males above the age of 50 years exposed to sunlight as a nodule with central crusting. It can be occurred as a nodule with the crust can be seen in the central portion. Then melanoma means it may occur in the fair males exposed to sunlight. Metastases are common. In case of melanoma, there will be higher chances for metastasis. So these are the three main forms of malignant tumors of auricular region. Then squamous cell carcinoma. Squamous cell carcinoma can be seen on the helix. Helix ആണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഹെലിക്സ് ആണ് കാണുന്നത്. ഈ പാർട്ടില് skin growth ഉണ്ടാകുന്നതിനാണ് squamous cell carcinoma എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. It is mainly seen in association with exposure to sunlight. Then treatment. Wide excision is advised for localized lesions. Malignant metastasis ആയിട്ടില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ excisions will be very much effective to remove these forms of lesions. Amputation of the pinna with block dissection of the neck and parotidectomy is advised for extensive lesions. So in the initial stage, we can manage the excisions of the lesions, but in the later stage, complete amputation of the pinna needs to be done to remove these complications of metastasis. Then radiation is useful for early basal cell carcinoma. To prevent the metastasis complications, we can manage with radiation therapy. Then this is a nutshell of both benign as well as malignant tumors of the auricular region. Benign cysts include preauricular cysts, sebaceous and dermoid cysts, and keloids. Then malignant tumors include squamous cell carcinoma, basal cell carcinoma, and melanoma. Next is tumors of the external auditory canal. Till now, we are discussing regarding the tumors of auricular or preauricular region. The next is tumors of the external auditory canal. First is osteoma. Osteoma means it is a pedunculated, smooth, and hard growth arising from cancellous bone. So it is one of the important tumors that can be seen in the external auditory canal. It will be having an appearance of pedunculated, smooth, and hard growth. This is a picture of osteoma. This is a picture of osteoma. It can be seen in the external auditory canal. So external auditory canal കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷമാണ് അതിനെ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇയർ കാണാം. ഇത് തൊട്ട് മുൻപ് ഇയറിന് തൊട്ട് മുൻപായിട്ട് ഒരു പെഡുങ്കുലേറ്റ് മാസ് ലൈക്ക് ഗ്രോത്തിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഓസ്റ്റിയോമ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Then why it is called as osteo? Osteo is something related to bone because it can be arised from cancellous bone. Then exostosis, which means a multiple hard sessile growth which can be bilateral. So this is a picture of exostosis. It is a multiple forms of tumor growth. Okay, then the treatment is excision is the primary treatment for removing these forms of tumors. Then, so the malignant tumors include squamous cell carcinoma, which is very common form of tumor in the external auditory canal. Then basal cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, and malignant melanoma are rare when comparing with squamous cell carcinoma. The incidence is very much rare. The middle-aged males with long-standing ear discharge are likely to be affected. So, with following any forms of infections, the patients will get these forms of malignant tumors. Then treatment will be extensive surgical excisions with partial parotidectomy and block dissection of the neck via infratemporal approach can be performed following by radiation. So, ആദ്യം excision ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം we can perform this radiation therapy to prevent the recurrence of these forms of malignant tumors. So, when comparing with that of preauricular tumors, the prognosis is very much poor. So this is a nutshell of tumors of the external auditory canal. Benign tumor include osteoma. It is a pedunculated small forms of tumors, and exostosis. It is a multiple form of benign tumors. Malignant tumors will be in squamous cell carcinoma, which is very much common, and basal cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, and malignant melanoma. It is very rare. The entire prognosis will be poor. due to the metastasis complications. The next is tumors of the middle ear. So among the benign tumors, the important or common form of tumor in the middle ear include GLOMUS tumor. So it is the most common benign neoplasm of the middle ear. Its origin is from the GLOMUS bodies. That's why it is called as GLOMUS tumor. Then the etiology include age, means it can be seen in the middle age group and more common in females. So this is a picture of GLOMUS tumor. So this is the picture of GLOMUS tumor. Okay, so this is a picture of GLOMUS tumor. GLOMUS jugular tumor. That is the full form of this, complete name of this tumor, and it can be seen in the middle ear. Okay. Histologically, it consists of polygonal epithelioid cells in column, cord or clusters with numerous sinusoidal blood vessels. So it can be occurred as a cluster form. Okay. In rare cases, metastasis can happen. Basically, it is a benign form of tumor, but in rare cases, the metastasis can be happen. The clinical features of GLOMUS tumor include unilateral deafness because middle ear ossicles and bonds, middle ear bonds, which are responsible for transmitting the sound waves through their vibratory motion. So if this growth will obstruct these forms of vibratory movements of these bonds, so that patient will have unilateral deafness. Then tinnitus, which means the remaining sensations within the ear, blood-stained ear discharge and polyp present as red flesh in appearance. Eardrum is studied with rising sun sign. Then intracranial extensions may occur. In the late stage of GLOMUS tumor, there will be involvement of the intracranial symptoms or extension. Then metastasis to lung and bone in the later stage. The investigation, first of all, we can collect the history regarding whether the patient had any history of infections, and these things can be collected in the history, as well as we can assess for any forms of tinnitus sensations, history of infections, color of discharge, hearing acuity, etc. can be collected. Then physical examination, we can assess the hearing ability of the patient by performing certain hearing tests like tuning fork test, ring test, and verbal test. Then radiography, which shows erosion of the temporal bone. Then carotid angiography, it will help to assess the blood supply to this carotid blood supply to the brain tissues, because by the involvement of intracranial extension, there will be a reduced blood supply to the particular region. It will be ruled out through this carotid angiography. Then CT, it will help to identify the extension of that tumor. Computerized tomography will help to identify the extension of the tumor, and then also biopsy. It will give the characteristic features of that tumor cells. Then how we can treat? In excision, tumors can be removed by tympanotomy approach in the early stage. We can make an incision in the tympanic membrane. Through that, we can remove these tumors from the middle ear. Then when tumor extends in atic or mastoid region, radical mastoidectomy can be advised. കാരണം എങ്ങോട്ടാണോ ട്യൂമർ എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ആയി പോയിട്ടുള്ളത് അതിനനുസരിച്ച് നമുക്ക് ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റ് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. എംബോളൈസേഷൻ ഇറ്റ് പെർഫോം ബിഫോർ ദി എക്സിഷൻ ടു റെഡ്യൂസ് ദി ബ്ലീഡിങ്. അതായത് വാസ്കുലർ സപ്ലൈ നമ്മൾ കട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് എംബോളൈസേഷനോട് നമ്മളത് കട്ട് ചെയ്ത് ബ്ലീഡിങ് റിസ്ക് കുറച്ച് നമ്മൾ എക്സിഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്നതിനെയാണ് എംബോളൈസേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ദെൻ റേഡിയോതെറാപ്പി അഡ്വൈസ് ഫോർ അഡ്വാൻസ് ലോ ഗ്രോയിങ് ട്യൂമേഴ്സ് വിത്ത് ഇൻട്രാക്രാനിയൽ എക്സ്റ്റൻഷൻ. അതായത് ട്യൂമറിന്റെ മെറ്റാസ്റ്റാസിസ് റേഞ്ച് കുറയ്ക്കാനായിട്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇൻട്രാക്രാനിയൽ എക്സ്റ്റൻഷന്റെ റേറ്റ് കുറയ്ക്കാനായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. Then till now we were discussing regarding the benign tumors of the middle ear. Then primary malignant tumor of the middle ear. Middle ear tumors തന്നെ benign ഉം malignant ഉണ്ട്. Malignant തന്നെ primary സെക്കൻഡറി ഉണ്ട്. Okay, ഇതാണ് ട്യൂമേഴ്സ് ഓഫ് ദ മിഡിൽ ഇയർ ബിനൈൻ ഉണ്ട് മാലിഗ്നന്റ് ഉണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ ഇതുവരെ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തിപ്പോൾ ഗ്ലോമസ് ട്യൂമർ ആണ്. ഇത് കമ്പാരിറ്റീവ്ലി റെയർ ആണ്. മോർ കോമൺ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഗ്ലോമസ് ട്യൂമർ ആണ്. മാലിഗ്നന്റ് ട്യൂമർ തന്നെ പ്രൈമറി സെക്കൻഡറി ഉണ്ട്. Primary tumor includes squamous cell carcinoma. That is very common primary malignant tumor in the middle ear. It affects in middle-aged patients. It may occur following long-standing middle ear separation. Chronic otitis media chronic infections വന്നതിന് ശേഷമാണ് ഇത്തരം ട്യൂമേഴ്സ് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. It may present as bleeding polyp or granulation accompanied by pain, deafness, blood-stained otorrhea, facial nerve get paralyzed. These are the clinical features the patient will manifest in case of malignant tumors of the middle ear. Treatment will be radical surgery involving subtotal excision of the temporal bone followed by irradiation. Then chemotherapy can be also advised to get the palliative effect. Okay. The secondary tumors of the middle ear, it will occur as very rare and it will happen only if any forms of spreading from the external ear, pinna, nasopharynx, or parotid gland. Okay, distal metastasis in the ear are very much rare. Okay, this is a nutshell of tumors of the middle ear. Then tumors of the inner ear. Among these tumors of the ear, this is very, very important. Acoustic neuroma. It is otherwise known as vestibular schwannoma or neurolemoma or eighth nerve tumor. So it is a form of tumor that can be affected the eighth nerve, which is vestibulocochlear nerve. So the incidence is, it constitutes about 80% of all cerebellar contained angle tumors and 10% of all the brain tumors. That is the incidence of this acoustic neuroma. The etiology will be, it can happen or it can see in both sexes between the age group of 30 to 60 years of age. So this is a picture of acoustic neuroma. So this is the eighth nerve. So this can be seen in the vestibulocochlear nerve. This is the growth. Okay. So through this, the eighth nerve is passing. So this tumor growth can be seen in this eighth nerve. So the classification of acoustic neuroma, intracanalular, which means it's confined to the internal auditory canal. Suppose if the lesion is localized to the internal auditory canal, it can be considered as an intracanalular acoustic neuroma. Then small size, medium size, and large size. On the basis of the tumor growth or tumor size, it can be classified into small size, medium size, and large size. The measurement will be smaller than 1.5 centimeter, considered as small size. So between 1.5 to 4 centimeter, it will be in the group of medium size tumor. Then large means more than 4%. Sorry, more than 4 centimeters. So that is a range of acoustic neuroma size, which will be varying from 1.5 to 4, less than 1.5, which will be small, between 1.5 to 4, which will be in the group of medium size, and more than 4 centimeter, which will be in the large size. Okay, so this is a picture of acoustic neuroma and vestibulocochlear nerve. So this picture shows how it affects in the nerve function. In the clinical features, it will be having a varying degree of clinical features based on the intracranial involvement, because it will affect the nerve structures. So it can extend to the remaining nerves, and the patient will exhibit the manifestations according to the particular nerve involvement. So the cochlear-vestibular symptoms, it will be seen as unilateral sensory neural deafness and tinnitus. Cochlear is mainly responsible for hearing, and vestibular system is responsible for keeping the balance. Okay, so if the patient is affected with cochlear vestibular system, that will be manifested either in the form of sensory neural deafness and vestibular symptoms like imbalance or unsteadiness. Patient cannot maintain a normal balance. In the cranial nerve involvement, tingling sensations can be seen, numbness and pain. Corneal reflex will be absent, facial paralysis, because facial nerve will be passing over the vestibulo eighth nerve in the ear. Okay. Then brainstem involvement. It can be manifested as weakness and numbness of the arms and legs. In the later stage, it can invade into the brainstem, so that patient will develop weakness as well as numbness of both upper and lower extremities. In cerebellar involvement, it will be manifested as gait abnormalities. Patient may not maintain a normal gait, as well as patient will be having or trouble to gait or walk straightly. Then raised intracranial tension due to the increased growth of these tumor cells, it can compress the intracranial structure so that the intracranial tensions can be or ICP can be raised. It will be manifested as headache, nausea, vomiting, diplopia, means double vision as well as blurred vision. The investigation first is history collection. History collection, you can assess the age of that patient and whether the patient had any history of infections, or the hearing ability of the patient can be assessed, or we can collect the history regarding the clinical manifestations or neurological findings that can be collected. Then physical examination we can perform tuning for test, that renal test and verbal test, hearing test, unilateral sensory neural deafness can be revealed. Vestibular test to assess the balance of the patient, reveal canal paralysis, which means semicircular canal will be paralyzed on the affected side. The neurological examination, it will reveal the abnormalities in the nerves function. Then radiograms will be showing plain X-ray, widening of the internal auditory meatus on the affected side will be evident in plain X-ray. Then CT and MRI, it will help to assess the extension of this tumor cells. Then vertebral angiography, it will help to differentiate the acoustic neuroma from other forms of tumors. Then CSF examination to rule out any form of neurological involvement or intracranial lesions. If we are performing the CSF examination, the protein level will be raised. Then how we can treat? The treatment will be, first is excision of this acoustic neuroma. It will be helpful in the initial stages of this tumor by craniotomy or by translabyrinthine approach, which is performed under operating microscope through the mastoid bone. We can insert the microscope through this mastoid bone, through that we can try to remove this tumor, or we can perform the craniotomy. We can make an incision in the cranium so that we can remove this enlarged tumor. Then gamma knife or X knife therapy. It is a stereotactic radiotherapy where radiation energy is converged on the tumor, thus minimizing its effect on the surrounding normal tissue. It causes arrest of tumor growth. Stereotactic means it is a three-dimensional form. That is the word meaning of stereotactic. So it is a three-dimensional approach in which we are trying to transmit the gamma radiation to the tumor cells. Through that we can prevent the metastasis or the invasion of these tumor cells to the nearby structures or tissues. Through that we can arrest the growth. So this is a picture of gamma knife therapy. Okay, this is a tumor cells and the person's head will be covered by a helmet. Through this we can, or we should select this target and the patient's head will be covered in a helmet. Through this we can apply or we can transmit this gamma rays. Okay. So today's class we had seen regarding the tumors of the ear. It was discussed under various headings like preauricular tumors and tumors of the external auditory canal, middle ear and inner ear. In that, we had seen different forms of tumor like benign tumor and malignant tumor. Many of the cases, excision is very much effective therapy to remove this tumor. If it is benign in nature, if it is malignant, first of all, we have to reduce the size of that tumor and that we can excise and remove it. Okay, so please go to this note. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, thank you.